Summer lingers in the air, in the sound. Open skies, worn boots. One more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
The Gulls take game one.
And he's looking for the strikeout to put an exclamation point on this series, and he does.
And for the first time in franchise history, the Sylvan Lake Gulls head to the WCBL championship. There will be a new WCBL champion this season.
That's got a chance.
a home
Where
run.
is it going?
Good
is it
night.
enough? Yes, it does. Marcus Abelhosen with the walk-off homer.
The Sylvan Lake Gulls have got the dog off their back. They are headed to the WCBL championship final with an 8-4 win.
Another beautiful night shaping up for what we can see in some great Western Canadian Baseball League action. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Gulls Nest. As you see it right there on your screen before we come to the booth, beautiful evening right here as I am Cale Clark. This is Scott Stimson. Great to have you watching Gulls baseball right here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Well, it was a very busy day yesterday. Hopefully the Lake boys got the rest because the Sylvan Lake Gulls back in action after a long doubleheader, which was a split doubleheader at that as well, between the Bulls and the Bombers, and my goodness, were they busy, especially with the bats. 31 runs came across the score, across the plate, and just gave up 6 runs between both teams combined in both of those games. So crazy numbers when you break it into things like that. And of course, Regina also kind of coming in off a doubleheader yesterday. 7-inning doubleheader they had against Energy City, which was down in Red Deer. So they didn't have a lot of travel to have to make up here to get here today, but you can expect that they will be ready for a rematch against the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Yeah, they're looking to close out the way they started the trip, essentially. That's a good little Alberta swing into things. They started out, had a pretty solid game against the Gulls on Friday night, and now they'll look to end the road trip on a strong note.
Yeah, 3-1 since their last meeting right here that took place at Gulls Field last Friday, where the Gulls had an 11-6 victory over Regina. So a little bit of a rematch in the works here between both of these clubs, the two teams that went to the WCBL championship last year. And of course, we're at that point in the season, Scott, where you're starting to have your eyes set on the playoff picture.
Yeah, you can almost taste the playoffs at this point. You're just about a week away from it, a week away from the end of the regular season anyways for the Gulls. So we've said it time and time again the last couple weeks that these games get more important, and there's a lot of teams that are playing playoff baseball right now, so you may as well keep playing it all the way through.
And you can see it on the body language of these guys. There is absolutely no stress, no pressure. They're loose and having fun with each other. You can see the smiles, the laughs. They're kind of giving each other some nudges along the way. I mean, these guys are just having fun at this point, and this is a good time to be having fun. You know, late stages, yeah, there are a lot still up for grabs right now. These are meaningful games, but they're taking them on like, you know, it's just another baseball game. They're having fun doing it.
When you look up the definition of a team in the dictionary, that's basically what you'd see. They have great chemistry, great bonding. They all love each other, that sort of thing. They play well together. They cheer each other on, and we've seen it the last few games. They've been playing really good baseball.
Well, here's a guy that got a lot of starts in the postseason last year. Matthew McKenzie will get the start here tonight. 6 starts, 1-1 record, 4.88 ERA, 27 and 2/3 innings of work, 27 strikeouts, giving up just the 33 hits. Here is who he's going to face with the Red Sox lineup.
Yeah, they'll start off with Jalen Myers, the right fielder, Jake Fowler, the second baseman, and Ian Montz, the center fielder. And then there's a little bit of damage through the middle of the lineup, and they're rounded out by Lance Anderson.
And I see we got our camera back in action. That's great to see above the dugout. Good job, boys. Michael Quick will start defensively out in the left field, where he was yesterday for most of the day. Elijah Hamill at center field. Charlie Collins over in right. Then Cleary Simpson back at third. Jaden Flores in the shortstop spot. Maddox Shaver at second. Coleman Perry, of course, in his office. And then Reese Sherman, who just keeps going back and forth between him and Eli Duncan for catching balls and strikes. And Sherman starting to maybe take a little bit of a beating right now. I talking to him before the game. There is something that has kind of been bugging him a little bit as of late, and he's kind of just fighting through it. So definitely a little concerning for Sylvan Lake Gulls fans, for Reese Sherman himself. But you know what? You would never be able to tell because this guy is a competitor, and he wants to play as many games as he possibly can to help this team win.
Yeah, you don't see it in his hot dog eating contest either,
Yeah.
so obviously it's not that bad of a factor to take away from his eating competitiveness.
Exactly. The guy can absolutely crush a dog like you've never seen before. Yeah. I think he's, I don't know. I think we could kind of make a play on word for Reese Sherman, especially when they're taking on the Okotoks Dogs. And there are going to be 2 meetings this week against the Okotoks Dogs. So Sherman, the dog eater, maybe. I don't know. We got to figure something out.
Workshop that one.
We'll have to give it some time and properly think of a good play on word there. But first pitch in for a ball as Jalen Myers, Jake Fowler, and Ian Montz, as you mentioned, the 1-2-3 scheduled hitters for the Regina Red Sox coming to the plate to start this ball game. And like I said, playing pretty good baseball as of late, 3-1 in their last 4. And the first game yesterday against Energy City was a low-scoring game, just 2-1. They snuck away with the victory in that first game, and then they won 6-2 in the second game. So not a high-scoring affair like what we saw here yesterday. And what I really like to mention, too, for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, guys that we kind of didn't talk about in the pregame show, how about if the rookies from the Gulls prep? They came in because of, such a high lead and such a, little bit of an out-of-stretch game. They were playing so well that they started to kind of give some other guys some innings and some practice. Dane Liskey came around to score his first ever run in his WCBL career as he got on base to a walk. And then Zach McDonald drove in his first 2 RBIs in his WCBL career as he went 1-for-1 in that first game, late stages.
Yeah, they were both very solid, and then because of the way the second game went, they both got another look.
And there's a strikeout to lead things off here in this ball game for Matthew McKenzie.
And like we saw yesterday, really good starting pitching. This is first batter, first strikeout. We didn't quite see that the last couple of games, but they've gone deep. They've gone 5 2/3, 5 innings, so really solid pitching and only a handful of runs given up in those 2 games. So he's looking to pick up where his teammates have left off.
Yeah, and that has been a huge success, or key to success, I should say, for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, as this is hit on the ground as Coleman Perry lays out for it, flips over to McKenzie, and it's not in time as that flip was just a little too high, and a good call there by the first base umpire, Jeff Chipley, right there with the close eye and close look on it. That's a tough play. Coleman Perry lays out for it, makes sure, but just because McKenzie had to stutter step to wait for that throw, it was enough time to not do it. Well, let's take a look at our umpires for tonight. Brad Johnson is the crew chief. He's behind home plate. There's Jeff Chipley over at first making that call, and then Levi Wagner is our third base umpire. Chipley in town for a couple games, as he was here all day yesterday and here again tonight. Home cooking for him.
Yeah.
So this is kind of close to home for him. 1-0 to Jake Fowler. Runner at first, and this is popped straight up to Cleary Simpson down the third base line, and he'll make the catch just at the edge of the infield where it meets the outfield.
Yeah, batters are starting to get aggressive because, well, he's throwing strikes. Matthew McKenzie has given them no reason to look at any pitches, so Jake Fowler, his first pitch, he gets on board, and Ian Montz, he went after his second pitch, so he was trying to get something going, but he pops out to third base instead.
Well, here is the Regina Red Sox juggernaut, Brady By, and they're going to send the runner over to second, and he dropped the ball, Jaden Flores. Otherwise, the throw may have been there in time.
It was pretty close, that's for sure.
Great throw by Sherman here on the throw as you take a look at it one more time. Got a good lead-off head start there as he got a little bit of a good lead on that run, but it won't matter. 1-0 the count to the juggernaut, as I mentioned. Brady By, he went 3 for 4 last time he was here in Sylvan Lake, and one of them being a home run.
Yeah, he said bye-bye to a ball there in that last game.
Smooth. That was good.
Thank you.
I like what you did there.
It's pretty easy. It's his name.
Yeah. You can be a little more clever. Come on. Just kidding. 2-1 now with that pitch. So Brady By, the first baseman. This is a guy that leads this team in a lot of things. But RBIs with 54, 11 home runs. And he's hitting .322 on the season. Takes that one and for a strike. Even count. 2 down. Runner at second. And that's just off the end of the bat to stay alive. The off speed almost had By coming around on it, and he just held up enough to catch the very tip of that bat on that ball.
Yeah, McKenzie and Sherman, they've got By on his heels right now in the batter's box. He's swinging at things that are not close, and he's fighting things off. He's just not quite there on his timing just yet.
And he'll swing it and hit contact on it, but right to Coleman Perry down the first base line, who will touch his base for out number 3. So some good work yet again by another great starter, Matthew McKenzie, getting a strikeout early on in this one. The boys loving it from the dugout.
Summer lingers in the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots, one more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
The Red Sox are going to turn to their second most played pitcher in Daniel Crabtree, who has had 46 2/3 innings of work, 5.98 ERA, 57 hits, 29 strikeouts, and a 2-3 record. This will be his 8th start. This is who he's going to face.
Jaden Flores, Michael Quick, and Elijah Hamill, probably the 3 hottest hitters in this Gulls lineup. They're going to be routed out by Charlie Collins.
Also a guy that can hit a ball a long ways. Defensively, here's what you're looking at. Rain Krekowitz, Ian Montz, Jalen Myers in the outfield, Chance Deskelchuk, Lance Anderson, Jake Flower, Brady By. I believe that's supposed to say Fowler, sorry. And then over at first is Brady By, Carson Cox behind the plate, catching balls and strikes. So very much like the Sylvan Lake Gulls, the Regina Red Sox are going to need a terrific start from their guy on the mound, because this is a hot offense right now for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. I don't know if I can, really make sure you know how good this offense has been as of late. I can exaggerate it so much, and that's not what you want to do to the Sylvan Lake Gulls, is get them on base early on, and Jaden Flores will get hit by a pitch on his second pitch. He had that yesterday, except yesterday was his first pitch, and he got hit by a ball to lead things off in a ball game.
Yeah, he led off the ball game both times with a hit by pitch. Just one was in one pitch. So this is just how games start. You hit Jaden Flores, and then you see what happens. Chances are he's going to score.
Especially with these hitters coming in behind him. Michael Quick now steps in. Michael Quick coming into this game this season. He is having a pretty good season. 248, 12 RBIs, 2 home runs, 25 hits, and 26 runs scored in just over 100 at-bats. And he hits it right up the middle. Regina looking to turn this as a double play, but they won't. They'll just get the leading runner over at second with the flip, as that ball was kind of juggled a little bit. And it was a barehanded catch. I got to give credit there to the Jake Fowler, second baseman.
I feel like I've seen this game before. A hit by pitch and then a fielder's choice for Michael Quick to get on. Sounds like the afternoon game yesterday.
It does. So this will bring up Elijah Hamill. He takes that first pitch down inside for a called strike. John Boy Rittenhouse on deck for Sylvan Lake. And they check down a first on Flores. Make sure he's staying close.
Quick.
Or sorry, Michael Quick. Yeah, that's right. Flores got thrown out. Thank you. Yeah, Michael Quick. Making sure he stays close. See, if I didn't have you, what would I do? This is unfortunately going to be my last time having you up here.
Yeah.
As you're moving on to some great opportunities.
Yeah. Apparently I'm just continuing my way up Highway 2.
There you go. Exactly. 1-1 the count to Hamill. Quick over at first, thanks to my broadcast partner keeping me in check and in line here on the broadcast. Great crowd here on a Wednesday evening in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. And that fastball catches Hamill. He, I think, was expecting an off speed there, and he was way behind on that pitch. That time another fastball, but a little further away. Takes it for a ball. 2-2 the count. Great night for Western Canadian Baseball League action in Central Alberta. Regina's kind of made Central Alberta their home in the last several days.
Took a while for summer to get here, but boy, when it got here, it got hot.
Yeah, did it ever. And of course, we talk about, we will talk about the standings and everything in just a little bit, but again, it's a huge game for both these teams. Regina still, they're not quite secure yet in the Eastern Division playoffs. And Elijah Hamill has just opened up this game. An absolute no-doubter. 2-run homer by one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. Elijah Hamill goes yard.
You said it best, an absolute no-doubter. Right off the swing, that was halfway out the yard. And he just watches that one go by, and kids are trying to climb over the construction fence because that's how far it was hit.
Wow. That is probably one of our further home runs we have seen this year.
Clear 2 fences.
Yeah, and the construction zone is quite a ways out there. Well, a nice souvenir for some of the hard workers in the construction area.
Yeah. They were busy yesterday. We watched them all day pretty well. That was a well-hit ball. Elijah Hamill just
picking up from where he left off. Sylvan Lake's bats staying hot so far. John Boy Rittenhouse, and what a catch as he will tag the base. Brady Bye also putting a little bit of display of some highlights in this one. Look at this. It did drop, and he just scooped it off the turf, and with a diving catch, kept it from going to the outfield on a hard hit ball by John Boy Rittenhouse that would have easily been extra bases. Wow.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of work to just keep the ball down in the infield to stop it from going to the outfield and then pick it up and run over to first to get the out.
That's why Regina likes their very own Brady Bye. He can do that. Offensively, he's got a bat. Defensively, he's got a glove. Kid is something to watch. So Cleary Simpson 1-1 with 2 down. Gulls up now 2-0. No runners on. And he hits this on the ground right to Fowler, who will flip it over to Bye in time for out number 3. But my goodness, not before we have watched a little bit of smoke leave the ballpark on a well-hit ball by Elijah Hamill, a 2-run homer. We'll be back with more Gulls baseball in a second.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is, and it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Another great start on the mound for this guy and for this team. Matthew McKenzie. Oh my goodness. Words are hard sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you tuning in, and hopefully we continue to keep you tuning in all night long here on FloCollege. Lock it in, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Scott Stimson, Cale Clark here with you on the broadcast. Top of 2 is where we are headed. Daniel Castellanos, the DH, will lead things off here. And very much to what we have seen for Sylvan Lake, they get good starting on the mound, they get good starting in the defense, and then the offense complements it quite well. Castellanos lifts this towards foul territory, a long run, but getting there is Charlie Collins, the man from down under.
Got a long ways to run for that one, but that's no problem for Charlie Collins, as he can get anywhere, anytime. That one popped up and just runs it out to foul territory and gets the first out of the inning. Gulls recently have been doing a good job of getting their fans engaged, like you mentioned. It's the starting pitching, get out of the inning quick, and then you light up the scoreboard, and they're going to be with you all night long.
Good pitch there by McKenzie. Kid from Vaughan, Nova Scotia. Kind of also moved to Toronto, Ontario as well when he was younger. Let's just say he's from Eastern Canada.
Yeah.
And a great kid at that as well. Was pumped to come back to the Gulls organization this summer. His mom tuning in when he wasn't even here yet. She was watching some of our broadcasts. messaging us on X and giving us some feedback and letting us know where he was at, obviously, because he was in the World Series for his respective college, University of Texas at Tyler. And this ball hit up in the air. And it's going to be caught right there by Maddox Shaver. 2 down.
Yeah, quite a few pop flies in this game, and this time it's Maddox Shaver sliding over to get there in time. Charlie Collins, of course, on the scene and is ready if he needed to, but Shaver called him off to make the catch.
So that'll bring up Rain Krekowitz, the left fielder, with 2 down quickly on the Regina Red Sox. And I got to talk to Matthew. He was actually on the broadcast one of the days that you were not here, Scott. And we talked. It was right after that long rain delay when he was supposed to start, and the game didn't actually get underway because the rain just started pouring right as the game was about to start. Well, yeah, he admitted that rain can really affect a guy. Like, it just took his, it took a while for him to settle into that game. And then when he did, he was on fire. He couldn't be stopped. But it was just, it's one of those things, mentally you prepare, you're ready to go, your arm's hot, and then you got to go back and you got to go into the dressing room and sit down for 45 minutes to an hour and then try to come back and get ready again. And mentally, it's challenging for a pitcher to kind of get your mind back into it and focused.
And it's such a routine kind of position, like, especially as a starter, you know when you're getting in, so you know when you're going to start your warm-up and when you need to crank it up a notch a little bit.
Well, there's Krekowitz now. Will step in. As Krekowitz got the walk, his first walk that McKenzie has given up. This is Carson Cox now. Cox lifts this into shallow left center field, and just to take a few steps behind himself is Jaden Flores making the catch. And just like that, we're heading to the bottom of the second. Gulls up 2-0.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Sylvan Lake Gulls come to the plate, up 2-0, and they will face that man right there, Daniel Crabtree.
A lot of ball being played here tonight. There's a couple slow pitch games going on in the background.
Yeah, I see that. In fact, some young teams too out there right now. Some little guys. Some minor baseball maybe taking place on the right side, or is that adults? I can't tell. It looked like there were some small children over there, but could be just soft, slow pitch night.
Yeah.
Looks like that's kind of what's going on. Good, love to see it. Thanks, guys. Great shot there. It's always a good time here at the ballpark at Pagato Park in Sylvan Lake. Maddox Shaver, who takes one right in the numbers, just like Flores did, to lead things off in an inning. Maddox Shaver obviously coming off a terrific day of baseball yesterday. Came in late in the first game, filling in, and then picked up from where he left off in the second game. Had a wild game yesterday. So this will bring up Coleman Perry. Runner on. 0 down. Both teams with a hit aside, and Perry has lifted this into deep right center field, and that's going to bounce off the wall. An extra base hit for Coleman Perry, a stand-up double. Just keeps the ball rolling.
Coleman Perry hit that one to the perfect spot. It was just tailing away from the center fielder. Looked like maybe he had a chance to get there. No, he doesn't. It's off the wall. Coleman Perry has had some power recently, and he's got himself, as well as Maddox Shaver, in a great scoring opportunity here for Sherman.
And a soft swing that just goes foul on Sherman. 2 runners in scoring position for the Sylvan Lake Gulls to lead things off here in this bottom half of the second inning yet again. And yeah, you said it. Coleman Perry obviously been hitting the ball well as of late, hitting .299 coming into this game, 24 RBIs, 4 homers. And that ball gets past the catcher, so guess who comes in to score? Maddox Shaver. And now go up 3-0. Coleman Perry advances over to third. Let's take a look at it again here on maybe what went wrong here. And just, yeah, a little bit inside and something that Carson Cox couldn't quite track. Not sure if that was a wild pitch or a pass ball, what they're going to credit it as. But either way, it got past the catcher and it scores another run. This ball pops straight up, and it's going to stay in the infield for the shortstop, Lance Anderson. Oh, and he doesn't catch it. Oh, my. Regina doing what they kind of did last Friday with some catchable balls and not being able to come away with it.
I was about to say, I'm having some flashbacks to the last time the Red Sox were here. As that one is very catchable. It just kind of came between his palm.
You saw him take his eye off it the very last second. That is why he dropped that ball. And let this be a lesson to you watching at home. That is why you keep your eye on the ball at all times until it is in your glove. And then Charlie Collins says, oh, I'll just knock one off the wall. And there's another RBI coming to score. They're waving. Another one to come in. Sherman comes in to score. A 2 RBI stand-up double for Charlie Collins.
In case the Red Sox didn't learn from the last meeting, the Gulls will make you pay if you make mistakes, and they certainly did right there. That one was crushed by Charlie Collins.
Yeah, you cannot give up free bags, free passes. Teams will make you pay, and Sylvan Lake is doing just that. Wow. That was an unfortunate break on Lance Anderson and the Regina Red Sox. Now they got to collect themselves and find a way to get out of this inning with 0 outs and already 3 runs added to the board in this inning. But yeah, that's exactly what we saw on Friday after a Gulls, team that was coming in on a 3-game losing skid on Friday. Regina helped them, get back in the win column. And a lot of the runs were scored from those kind of plays, dropped balls and walks and hit batsmen. And this time, Sylvan Lake's got their bats going, and it's just not going to help their case. Flores hits this into foul territory. This could be playable for Myers, but it's just going to drop in, and that's foul.
And the difference, too, in this game, the Gulls don't have any outs. The last time that happened, that should have been the end of the inning because they had 2 away, and then they dropped that fly ball, and all of a sudden the game just changed.
So Sylvan Lake up now 5-0 over the Red Sox. We let Jalen Myers get over back to his spot in right field after going to get that ball. Jaden Flores at the plate, 0-1. And he was hit by a pitch his last at bat. And that comes inside. So it's 0-2. That actually hit Flores' bat as he checked it. We didn't couldn't quite tell, but the umpire just gave us the symbol there and the sign. And that one, kind of like the last pitch, comes inside. This time Flores decides not to try to swing on it.
Definitely did sound like he got a piece of the bat on it.
And I thought so, but I was kind of going off of what the scoreboard was showing. It was showing 1-1, but yeah, I had a feeling. I could watch Flores' body language after that as well, and he was not happy with himself. Flock of seagulls flying over Gulls Park here. And Flores hits this off the fist right to Brady Bye, who will make it catch for out number 1.
Took them 5 batters, but they finally get the elusive first out of the second inning. It's just almost looked like maybe it could just bloop over the infield, but didn't have enough juice on it as it stayed right near where the first baseman Brady Bye was located.
That was a huge out for Regina. They really needed that. So now they can kind of maybe take a little bit of a breather and just work on the next 2 outs. As Michael Quick takes that pitch away for a called strike. Oh, 0-2 to Michael Quick. And he hits that off the fist foul. That would have stung a little bit, I would think, on the old hand.
That almost looked like the one that Jaden Flores just kind of fought off, just the opposite side.
Well, this pitcher in Daniel Crabtree is definitely throwing quite a few inside on these guys. He's not afraid to throw them inside, away. An off speed that just misses the outside corner. Quick takes that one up high. Evens the count, 2-2. Daniel Crabtree from Marietta, Georgia, goes to Point University. And again, that one just missing the zone up high. Full count. So Michael Quick has done a good job here in the batter's box with some patience. Down 0-2 at one point, has brought it back to full.
And some tough pitches to just take, too.
Yeah,
they're pretty
they're
close to the zone.
Yeah. I know I would have been swinging at every single one of them. Now Quick does, and he pops it straight up in the air. So a good pitch by Crabtree. And just making the catch. Again, a little bit, maybe some wind having an effect on that ball. And Lance Anderson, of course, the crowd giving it to him a little bit, too, in the middle of that play. As the last one that was hit like that, he dropped. So that's got to also be good for him, too, just to get that confidence, you know. Get that out of the head, that last play. You probably think it was probably one of those things that was in his head a little bit when that ball was in the air, but good catch, made sure, now 2 away.
Yeah, able to shake it off and respond well. And you see Charlie Collins at second base. He had to kind of protect himself a little bit. Not sure where that ball was.
Not as hit fair right up the line, but it's going to be caught by Brady Bye as not a lot gets by him. And a good response by the Regina Red Sox. They give up the 3 runs, though. After an error, Charlie Collins makes them pay with that swing right there. 2 more come to score.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Yo, that's the one. You going?
Yes.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
Rounding out the batting order, Lance Anderson will come to the plate for the Regina Red Sox here in the top half of the 3rd inning. And a guy that could redeem himself after a little bit of an error in the shortstop position defensively, but then he made a great catch for that 2nd out of the inning.
It was a sneaky long run for him, too, because he was close to his normal position at short, and it took him all the way to the bag when he made the catch.
Yeah, that ball, there's some wind up there that's blowing in from the east to the west that favors a left-handed hitter, and this will hit right back to Matthew McKenzie, who makes the toss underhand right to Coleman Perry in time for out number 1.
Yeah, Matthew McKenzie getting involved defensively, a slow tapper right to him on the mound, basically, and then he just softly tosses it to Coleman Perry.
Sometimes a pitcher will hold on to that ball a little longer and get closer for the underhand toss. That one seemed like he had to really toss it a ways because you got some good speed in number 6, Lance Anderson. He's got some wheels.
Sometimes, though, the closer the pitcher gets, the softer the toss is and the more, what's going to happen here? But that one, it was
that seemed like a lengthy underhand toss too, though.
It was a long one, but you know he's going to have pace on it, and he's got to have it in the right spot. It's one of those weird things where the distance kind of helps you because you have to dial in just that little bit more.
Yeah. No, fair. It's kind of what I was doing with you yesterday on the baseball field.
Yeah.
A couple of those. This ball hit pretty good right down the line, but just goes foul, unfortunately, for the Regina Red Sox. That would have been so huge for Jalen Myers. He could have really used that. How about it, though? Look at that crowd, hey? Like, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous crowd, gorgeous day. The berm is filled. Fans are having fun. Yeah. I would hate to be sitting on that hill right now.
Yeah. The Gulls light in your hand.
Oh, yeah. Or an ice cream in your hand.
Oh.
One of the kids was had ice cream there.
Yeah, an ice cream would hit the spot.
That would slap, as the kids would say.
Do they still say that anymore?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to bring it back. Maybe I'm the only one that still says it. Love it. 2-2 the count to Jalen Myers. I don't know what the kids say anymore nowadays, Scott.
No, I don't either. And sometimes when I do hear the things, I don't want to know.
No. I mean, we said some pretty ridiculous things as when we grew up too. But,
Yes.
You know, it just carries on, obviously. But the older you get, that's a sign that you can tell you're getting old. So this is hit right on the ground to Shaver, who will field it cleanly and over to Coleman Perry in time for out number 2. But that is a sign you're getting old, is when the things that the kids are saying nowadays is actually starting to get just annoying. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
you just shake your head.
You just passed through the stage in your life where you used to be the translator between young and old. You could be this is what it actually means, and now you're past that point in life, and you go, what even?
We're needing somebody to translate to us what it means.
Yeah.
I know. Good times. 1-0 the count to the Regina Red Sox. Jake Fowler at the dish. Had a base hit back in the first inning. He's the lone hitter for the Regina Red Sox so far in this ball game. And he hits this on the ground to John Boy Rittenhouse, who gets on it pretty quickly. And sorry, that's Clary Simpson, who's maybe very similar in a lot of ways to John Boy Rittenhouse. Just even the way he moves kind of looks like John Boy Rittenhouse. But Clary Simpson with a great play over at third and a 3-up, 3-down inning. Gulls coming to bat.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archive game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
You know what I love? The just buzz from the noise of the crowd here at Gulls Field. Don't know what was said. Somebody's having a good time, though. I think it was the load the bases. So something like Gulls, you know, if they score, I think there's a row in this game that gets a nice little discount to our good friends and partners over at Lodge 43 restaurant here in Sylvan Lake. If you're in the area, definitely check out Lodge 43. They got a lot of great meal options, one being a brisket grilled cheese. That is their like hot seller, I guess, in the restaurant, and I've yet to try it, but I think I might have to go try it before the end of the season. Great partner. They've been with the Sylvan Lake Gulls since day one. They're one of the OG partners of the baseball club. And
saw them at the Birdie Bash, and that's where we found out, oh, that's the signature dish.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that, but got to try it.
They were giving us pulled pork sandwiches or something, weren't they? Or
they were giving us
pulled
some
pork
Yorkies.
Yorkies.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Right.
Very good.
So good. As John Boy Rittenhouse trots down to first, leading off walk. So that'll bring up Clary Simpson. Rounded out his last at bat. Clutch Cleary making a great crab over at third. He's been busy a couple times now on the hot corner. Made a catch, a pop fly catch, and then he made the throw in that to retire that last inning. So this is where it favors a left-handed hitter like him. He's not a guy that, you know, and it's funny because he's the guy that was the first ever Gull to hit a home run in this ballpark. But he's not the type of guy that usually hits home runs. He can, and he will, but he might only put up maybe a couple a season. He's not the kind of guy that would do it on a regular basis like Elijah Hamill or Maddox Shaver, John Boy Rittenhouse. But with the way the wind is going tonight, this favors him to turn on a ball, and he could send one a long ways.
And we saw what Elijah Hamill did.
Yep.
That one was gone in a hurry.
And that's a guy that can hit both ways of the plate.
Yes.
He's a switch hitter. Normally a guy that he said left hand used to be more of his weaker side for hitting, but he has had a lot of right-handed pitchers throw against him this year, and he's kind of strengthened that left-handed side. An even count to Simpson, and of course, they're not afraid to throw down a first to keep the runner in check. This time it's John Boy Rittenhouse there. Larry Simpson hits this in the opposite field, and that's going to get caught up in the wind, and it'd be a really easy catch for Rain Krekowetz to make grab number 1 and out number 1.
Yeah, that one was kind of hit off the end of his bat there. It didn't have a whole lot of life coming off that swing. Just hit it almost in a dead spot off the bat, but pretty good positioning there for Krekowetz out in left field.
So here's Shaver, who got on base by being beamed with a ball right behind himself, right on the back, I should say, and right between the numbers of 1 and 6. Came around to score, though. 3 hits so far for Sylvan Lake in this ball game. Shaver pop fly ball to shallow center field. And making the catch is Ian Montz.
There's been quite a few high, extremely high fly balls thrown up in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys are cutting under those balls pretty good, and after, you know, a hitting clinic that they put on display here yesterday, they're just cutting under those balls a little too much now. And that could be an issue. That could be a problem when you hit the ball so well for so many, you know, so long, and you got that confidence. Then you start to really cut under it even more so every time and fly it even further. So Coleman Perry, who had a big hit this a double back in the second, back at the plate for his second at bat. John Boy Rittenhouse still over at first with 2 down. And Regina gets a nice little break after today, a nice day off, and that's kind of probably what they need, especially going all the way home. They will travel home, and then they welcome Weyburn Beavers for a pair on Friday and Saturday. And then Moose Jaw on Sunday. In fact, they have 5 straight home games after tonight's game. Perry watches that off-speed come in and takes a swing at it. Fouls it back to the screen, even count, 2-2.
Funny how the schedule kind of balances itself like that. You go on the road for a while, you're probably going to be at home for a while. And that's kind of where the Gulls found themselves the last couple weeks. They went on a bit of a road trip and back at home for a little bit.
And they got him at second here with a throw as John Boy Rittenhouse overslid the bag, trying to steal a base. And they get him with the tag out. Let's take a look at it again here. Great throw by Carson Cox, but just came off the bag. And he thought he got there in time. And Levi Wagner said, no, you did not. So Regina gets out of this inning and keeps the Gulls off the scoreboard. It's still 5-0 Sylvan Lake. Well, it's that time of season where every game matters moving forward. You take a look at the West Division standings in the WCBL, and yes, the Gulls just 3 games back from the Okotoks Dogs here tonight. Lethbridge now 6.5 back from first place, and then Energy City still hanging on into that number 4 spot for the ahead of Brooks Bombers and the Fort McMurray Giants as time is running out for both of those guys. But yeah, lots to look at. I mean, obviously you got the 1, 2, 3 seeds kind of figured out in the West, which is a completely different story in the East. And we'll take a look at the East standings in a little bit of a moment. But how about Matthew McKenzie doing a pretty good job so far here tonight, giving his team another grade A opportunity to carry away another victory here at home. As he has been great. Some 3 up, 3 down innings. Just the 1 strikeout on the fence, which usually we see more strikeouts from him, but he's getting the help from his defense as well. His pitches are, kind of forcing the Red Sox to pop a lot up.
Yeah, he's given the Red Sox a lot of reasons to swing at things and put balls in play.
Yeah, he's got 27 strikeouts already on the season. 28 now tonight. And make that 29.
Ask and you shall receive, as Matthew McKenzie delivers on another strikeout. As like we've said, having a pretty solid night on the rubber.
That'll bring Brady Bye to the plate, who grounded right to Coleman Perry, out for his first at-bat in the first inning. That retired that inning.
It's always good when you can face a dangerous hitter when he's the only one who could possibly score on the play. It's not like you have some extra base runners who he could bring home. The damage that he could deal isn't as much.
And he's definitely not attacking the zone like he has with the other hitters, with respects to what Brady Bye can do with the bat. Brady Bye hits it again on the ground. This will hit the gap and in the hole, out to right field for his first base hit of the game. That was placed absolutely perfectly, as both Coleman Perry and Maddox Shaver took a good stab at this one.
Yeah, it's impressive. He gets by not only one diving player, but a second one. Coleman Perry and Jaden Flores, obviously good positions, just far enough and well hit enough that it gets through both of them, which is an impressive feat.
Daniel Castellanos now, the DH, flew out to Charlie Collins in his last at bat, which was foul territory. Collins came a long way to make that catch. And I love that camera angle that you folks at home get to see into the face of the batter for the right-handed hitters. And this ball popped straight in the air, and shallow center is where it will go. Maddox Shaver has a beat on it and will make the catch.
Yet another one that's skied up, just kind of outside of the infield, but enough for the infield to come and play it, as Maddox Shaver got underneath that one.
Good catch. Chance Deskelchuk now also popped up to second base, his last at bat. It's been a night of pop-ups, I think.
Yeah, it has.
Pop-ups, ground outs, fly outs. And then some well-hit balls, some that traveled far, including Elijah Hamill's 2-run shot that opened the scoring in this ball game back in the first inning.
Both teams have either had or should have had 5 flyouts. That includes the one that was dropped by the Red Sox earlier in this game.
Two and one the count to Deskelchuk. Brady Bye still over at first. That one comes inside up high for a called strike. 2-2. Good pitch.
Yeah, just sneaking that one into the strike zone.
Yeah, freezing Deskelchuk up pretty good. Brady By on the run, and the throw, and it goes off the tip of the glove of Maddox Shaver. And he comes down very awkwardly there on that play. Let's take a look at it here. He went a long ways up for that ball. And he just tried to make the catch, and unfortunately, when you got a runner like Brady By coming in, don't have a lot of time to make sure you got it in your glove before you go for the tag. So a good stolen base there by By, and this ball hit foul. Full count to Deskelchuk. Ball hit on the ground, right to Shaver, fields it. We'll throw it over to Perry, and they'll get out of this inning. So Brady By with the base hit, the only hit, stolen base, doesn't matter. Sylvan Lake Gulls put down the Red Sox. They'll come to the bat in the bottom of the fourth. Well, it was the battle of the rookies, the two newcomers for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Cohen and Braxton going head to toe. And look at this. Hot dog eating contest at its finest. You know, I think Cohen might be able to give Reese Sherman a run for his money. Look at this. Done.
Yeah, that was a pretty good showing. That's exactly what I thought when we were watching that. I'm like, oh, Reese might have some competition.
He might have somebody that can actually give him a little bit of a run for his money. I think I'd still put money on Reese the way he can eat a hot dog, but that was impressive. See, you get everything here at the ballpark in Sylvan Lake, don't you?
You do.
You get it all. You get the snap man, you get the hot dog eating contest, and you get plays like that. Ouch. That hit Coleman Perry up high, and he's, for the Sylvan Lake Gulls for the third time tonight, are going to lead off an inning being hit by a pitch. Not what you really want to see necessarily, but, I mean, they'll take a base any way they can get it. But that hit, that looked like that might have hit the helmet of Coleman Perry, knocking it right off his head.
Yeah, that's why you wear a helmet. Lucky that was all the damage that was dealt there.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be okay as he's settled in over at first now, and Reese Sherman comes into the plate, or to the batter's box, I should say. He got on base due to an error, and he hits it hard into the gap, out into left field for a base hit. And another error to the Regina Red Sox as Krakowitz bobbled that ball out in left field that advanced the base runners an extra base.
Yeah, that one was hit nicely just by the third baseman and Deskelchuk, and then it kind of got bobbled by Krakowitz, so another error is going to go on the board to the Red Sox, and yeah, it's not a good thing for them, as they've learned not only earlier today but also before the weekend that the Gulls will make you pay.
Yeah, the errors have definitely been the reason so far for why they have lost game one and so far losing this game. Down 5 with 0 down and runners in scoring position. Charlie Collins, who drove in 2 runs back in the second inning in his first at bat, had a 2 RBI double. Don't let this guy get hot. He was the WCBL Player of the Week just about three weeks ago or so now. Ball swung on, popped straight up in the air. Another pop fly ball for Regina. And Lance Anderson makes the catch.
All the pop flies that Anderson has had to get to, he hasn't made it look easy by any stretch. I don't know if it's just the way that he's trying to read the ball or that it's just not quite working out. The sun might be a factor. Maybe it's just something between the ears there, but he's smiling it off. He's like, oh, that was a bit more of a ride than I wanted, but hey, at least I got it.
And I'm sorry, Lance, but your sunglasses are on the wrong side of your hat there, my friend. I think that you might want to wear them. It's kind of bright out there. Maybe that's why he took them off, is because he dropped that one ball, and he might have been wearing them when he dropped it. I don't know, actually. I can't remember that far back, but sunglasses are on the back of his head. I guess the sun isn't, at this point in the night, not directly in his eyes. Jaden Flores now at the plate. 0-1, one away. Runners in scoring position for Flores. He's 0 for 1 on the evening. Regina's actually got 3 double headers over the course of the next week.
Wow.
Back at home. So when they get home, they get the day off tomorrow, but then a doubleheader on Friday, one on Saturday, doubleheader on Sunday against the Saskatoon Berries, and then Saskatoon Berries again on the Monday.
It's a lot of makeup games to be having.
Well,
but Saskatchewan did get it pretty wet out there too.
Yeah, very similar to what we got in Alberta when it was June and it was just rainy. Well, Regina got rained a lot. They got a lot of rain. In fact, it flooded the city of Regina.
Wow.
Parts of Regina were flooded. And that is got to feel very sore and tender by now as Jaden Flores takes his time after getting hit by another pitch. He has had taken 4 to that probably similar spot in the last 2 days. So if there isn't a bruise there already, well, there is probably a bruise. It's just adding to that bruise and probably keeps hitting the same spot. Like, ouch.
Yeah, I'm sure he's keeping the athletic therapist, Rob Manka, pretty busy just with maintenance. Like, hey, it's a little sore right here. Anything you can do?
And so, bases loaded situation for Michael Quick with just 1 away in this bottom half of the 4th inning. They're going to try to take their time to help get maybe the bullpen warmed up. It looks like former player Zane Poland, who just came out to the mound for the Regina Red Sox, now coaching. With 1 away. Bases loaded. Michael Quick with a grade A opportunity here. He's 0 for 1 on the evening. And he hits it on the ground to Anderson. Flips it to second. In time and for first? No, it's not. And that will drive in another run for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Michael Quick's, well, it's in his name. He's quick. And he's now beat out 2 throws on an opportunity for a double play.
Yeah, it's twice now that he's hit into what's turned into a fielder's choice on what could have been a double play, but the good foot speed, and that gets someone up to the dish that the Red Sox probably don't want to see right now in Elijah Hamill.
So 2 down, 6-0. Gulls lead it now over the Red Sox. Yeah, 4 hit batsmen in this game already.
The 3rd inning was the only clean inning in that department.
And that's fouled off.
It's a foul ball at Gulls Field all summer long, brought to you by Clearview Glass.
Elijah Hamill from Oakville, Ontario. The Niagara University product has delivered another great season for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 347, 9 home runs now. 2-run shot here today, 30 RBIs. Incredible. And he hits it hard on the ground, right in the glove. The second baseman, Jake Fowler, who makes a great catch and stab at it to retire the side. But again, another run comes in to score, and it was Coleman Perry who crosses the plate to now make it 6-0 heading into the 5th inning. Well, earlier on, we were talking about the West Division standings and how, every game moving forward matters a lot. And, of course, Regina with a big schedule coming up. This is where they sit right now, 3rd in the East. But, my goodness, look at the winning percentage between the bottom 4 teams. It is in reach for everybody right now. Swift Current 57s slowly falling off path and off the trail. But then you got the Weyburn Beavers, Medicine Hat Mavericks, and the Red Sox all duking it out right now for those last 2 playoff spots in the East Division standings. Obviously, Regina wanting to, go back to the playoffs and potentially be that team that upsets everybody in the postseason. But it's going to be a wild postseason. I just have a feeling that these underdogs that have been fighting for those last couple playoff spots all the last few weeks, they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs in round 1 for Saskatoon and Moose Jaw.
Yeah, and Saskatoon and Moose Jaw, they've been strong all year long. And Moose Jaw, they really came on as of late. They passed Saskatoon, who's leading most of the season. But yeah, you just got to make it to the playoffs, and anything can happen, as we've seen with the Regina Red Sox.
Absolutely. And you know what? We also had from the East. The East has been actually breaking the records. That's the wild thing. The East has been the one breaking all of the WCBL records this year. We have had now another record broken in the WCBL, and it was the stolen base record. And that went to Soto, the Moose Jaw Miller Express.
They were playing the Swift Current 57s when there was 3 records that had the potential of being broken, and Jake Hiramoto for the Swift Current 57s broke both the home run and the RBI record, and in that same weekend was the stolen base potential.
Well, there's a strikeout for Matthew McKenzie on Krekowitz to lead things off yet again in another inning with a strikeout. That's what he's done tonight. So similarly to what the Gulls have been getting on base, they're getting on base with a hit batsman. Matthew McKenzie starts his innings off with a strikeout.
Yeah, that's 3 innings out of the 5 innings pitched for him that he's come out with a strikeout. So he sets the tone and really kind of quiets the offense out of the gates.
So here is kind of something interesting. Braden DeSonia of the Medicine Hat Mavericks, he had stolen 42 bases during the 2022 WCBL season. And Thomas Soto of the Moose Jaw Miller Express, has since passed that, obviously, with 45. And there's still 8 games remaining for Moose Jaw.
He could be pushing 50.
Yeah, that's wild. And all in the same week that, like you were mentioning, Swift Current 57's player,
Jake
Kiramoto, did just that.
Matthew McKenzie kicking things up another notch. Back-to-back strikeouts, and that one only took 3 pitches.
Wow, good punch out.
Number 6, Lance Anderson.
So Lance Anderson grounded out to McKenzie, his last at bat, who flipped it over to Perry. And this is hit right up the middle. Elijah Hamill, and he can't quite get there in time. Tried to make the diving play, gets past him, and he's going to throw it in, and they're going to get even more bases. Anderson gets over to third on the triple. As Hamill tried to take a stab at it. He thought about, you could tell there was a hesitation there. Do I let it drop, or do I get underneath of it? And he decided to try to take a chance at it, to dive for that ball, and it lands in front of him and bounces right over top.
And you look at the situation too, like 2 outs, you've got a decent lead at this point in the game. Like, you may as well go for that
Go for the highlight,
reel
yeah.
And get out of the inning too.
And Hamill has shown us in the past, time and time again, he can make those highlight reel catches. So good effort, but I know the Gulls probably won't let that rattle them too much. So good piece of hitting there by Lance Anderson, getting some barrel on ball there. Back to the top of the order we go. Here's Myers. So that's definitely the danger that you have to worry about in the East come playoff time. And for any Western team that will face them in the WCBL Final Championship, there's going to be some pretty big names coming maybe to that championship final. I mean, you really don't have, every team's got at least one guy on their team that has made some waves in the league this year.
Yeah, everyone seems to have at least one star player. Doesn't matter how good you may perform as a team, everyone seems to have one.
McKenzie trying to get Jalen Myers to chase after that one. 2-2 the count with a runner at third. That's Lance Anderson after a triple. Full count. Up the ground right to Perry, and that will make it 3 away in the top half of the 5th inning. So just the one big triple by Lance Anderson, but Matthew McKenzie had a couple big Ks in that inning as well, and that's why it's still scoreless. John Boy Rittenhouse to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch swinging. Guess what? Pop up. Way up in the air. And it's caught by the third baseman this time. That's Chance Deskelchuk, who Lance Anderson said, you take it this time. I think I've had enough experiences over here with the high fly balls. And even Deskelchuk made that look a little interesting, didn't he?
Yeah, there's, like you've been saying all game, there's some wind up there because he's the third baseman. He caught that one at shortstop. That was quite a ways over they had to go. And as the ball gets closer to coming down, you see them move more and more at the last second because it just keeps going.
So Clary Simpson steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the night, which doesn't happen very often for him. Gulls just out hitting the Red Sox by 1 now, 4-3. But it's the errors that I would like to, and the walks and the hit batsmen that I think is basically the main reason why this game is where it is right now. Obviously, good piece of hitting by the Sylvan Lake Gulls batters, Elijah Hamill.
But the reason why they have those opportunities is mostly because of those hit by pitches.
Yeah, exactly.
And good teams are able to take advantage of those opportunities.
And Simpson down in the count 1-2 takes that in the turf for a ball. 2-2 on this Wednesday night in the WCBL between the Red Sox and the Gulls. Some summer weather as we are already at the halfway point of summer being over.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to say, but
I'm not ready to think about hockey yet, but I'm going to have to starting Tuesday.
Exactly. You're starting a new job on Tuesday and with a junior A hockey team. Going from one sport to the other, and Clary Simpson goes down looking at that one. So out number 2.
I believe that's the first strikeout of the game for Daniel Crabtree.
Yeah, that was pretty low. That was definitely lower than the knee on Clary Simpson as we got to see it on the replay. However, that's going to be called. That's going to be called. Brad Johnston has had a pretty good, solid night so far behind the plate, calling the game. Good umpire crew here in attendance. Jeff Chipley and Levi Wegner. And I think I overheard that there might be some, fans or spouses of the umpires actually in attendance tonight.
Yes, there was an announcement. The umpire fan club was in attendance.
So there you go. Everybody's here to watch everybody.
Everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody. Umpires have fans too. Maybe
not the normal Gulls fans, but
maybe not right
fans.
now after what we're hearing down at field level. Yeah, there's a few boos coming at him.
That was timely.
Might have spoke a little too soon there. Whoops. I'm sure their fan club wasn't booing. It was definitely the other fans that were doing the booing. 2-2. That was weird timing, wasn't it? To Maddox Shaver. And he swings around on it for a strikeout. So that was a huge inning for the Red Sox, and good for Crabtree to come in and have back-to-back strikeouts to end this inning, a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Red Sox. They'll hit the bats in the 6th when we come back. Well, this is the dirtiest Snapman race I have ever seen. Look at this. See ya. Oh, wow.
Boo that man.
That was rude. Absolutely rude, Snapman. Well, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Yeah, not a lot of games left to be played. In fact, you just see it there. They got a pair against Okotoks, a pair against Lethbridge, another one against Okotoks, and then a pair against Fort McMurray. So, yeah, that is it. And then playoffs start right next Friday. So Sylvan Lake obviously trying to secure second place in the West, but with 3 games against the Okotoks Dogs, that could even maybe determine who's in first with some, you know, little bit of drama to come down the stretch.
Yeah, they're starting to get a gap on the Bulls for second, third place. And, yeah, you look at those 3 head-to-head matchups, and when you're 3 games behind, that's the math is mathin'.
Math is math, and 4 of the 7 next games and last games will be here at Gulls Field, so that'll be nice as well. A little bit of an advantage for Sylvan Lake with the home crowd behind them. Jake Fowler leading things off here in the 6th inning. 1 for 2 on the night. I still can't believe Snapman did that. Yeah. He did him dirty there.
Like, sure, he's pretty close to falling on his own, but he gave him a pretty good pop.
Oh, like, I don't think that runner was going down if he didn't get shoved.
And
that
like,
definitely made him fall down.
There's a good gap between them in the outfield, and then you see Snapman around the corner and you go, okay, this is his race now, and he catches up to him, looks him dead in the eye and goes, not today.
Wow. I would love to see you race the Snapman. I mean, it's kind of too late now. We should have got you to do it tonight because this was your last game. But how about a strikeout again to lead off an inning for Matthew McKenzie?
Yeah, that's what the 4th inning that he's done this, 4 out of 6. That's a pretty good clip.
Yeah.
But I would say tonight would not be my best showing. I think I'm way too tired to be running that far.
You're tired. You had a nice little meal there behind you.
Yeah, I did.
You got fired up.
Yeah, it got fired up.
Jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, fire me up, Scotty. Fire me up. 2-0 the count here to Ian Montz. See, this is what I'm going to miss. Just a couple of goofballs.
Just guys being dudes.
Guys being dudes in the broadcast booth. Who decided to let us work together? I don't know. But this ball hit hard into right field, and that will land for a base hit. Colin Perry didn't even think about it. He's just, yeah, okay, that's gone. Yeah, that's going in the outfield. So they'll accept the damage there by the Red Sox. Great base hit by Ian Montz to finally break his goose egg of a night with the bat. So Brady Bye, again, another dangerous batter coming to the plate here. And a little bit of momentum maybe generated from the Red Sox. They get the base hit. Two and 0 the count.
Trying to paint that outside corner, and they're just missing.
Yeah, I can't blame him with Brady Bye at the plate. Kind of don't want to keep anything close to him. The runner on, and it's a kind of a swinging ball as well, as it was kind of trying to be a hit and run on the play. And, of course, Ian Montz had to be careful and go all the way back to first as that was popped straight up.
Yeah, that one could have been a weird situation, and the hit and run was on. It seemed like a delayed one, almost like he wasn't quite sure if he needed to swing and kind of remembered to. As looked like that could have been a stolen base or really close to.
That'll bring up Daniel Castellanos, the DH. 0-2 so far tonight. And Castellanos lifts this into right center field, and that's going to just drift away from everybody, bounce off the wall. And that will drive in the first run of the game for the Regina Red Sox. An RBI double for Castellanos.
Yeah, Red Sox not ready to go away into the night just yet, as that one's hit deep into center field. And it bounces and goes off the top of the wall there. Staying in play.
Yeah, it was a well-hit ball by Castellanos, and one of those balls that Elijah Hamill, we know he's fast, but unfortunately for him, just could not quite get there. Now Deskelchuk. Also 0 for 2. Getting to that point in the game where guys are maybe starting to kind of have a little bit of an idea what McKenzie's throwing now. Not on that one. That was a great pitch. 79 mile per hour had him out in front of it.
Yeah, at the same time, they're still striking out, and had one earlier in this inning. See if we can close out the inning that way.
And a strikeout yet again for Matthew McKenzie. That's number 5 on the night for him to get out of this inning, but Red Sox do end up doing a little bit of damage, getting a RBI double. But McKenzie has been dealing tonight, and he is continuing to go. Beautiful day here at the ballpark as the Gulls lead 6-1 over the Regina Red Sox. Scott, I had to turn this light on for you, my friend, because you're getting a little sleepy. Got to wake you up. Oh, maybe. Yeah, see, you're falling asleep. You're not even turning the mic on.
Can't hit the button. It's a tough job up here. You just have to talk and push a button.
Push buttons. Maybe try to stay awake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's all fun. Yeah, it's been a fun day, buddy.
Yeah.
Of course, this is your last broadcast with us in the Gulls booth, and we're going to miss you, and we wish you all the best moving forward. So thanks for joining us.
No, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun all summer long, and glad to be here, and very welcoming crew to work with. So, yeah, really appreciate it.
You're kind of hitting that firehouse coma right now, too, with your late dinner and your and all that good stuff. But, no, it's been fun, buddy. Thanks for being up here and, keeping this guy in line when he needs to be. So that's good. Michael Bizier is the new pitcher on the mound for the Regina Red Sox. There he is there. And he's going to look to kind of keep the Gulls at bay as the Red Sox have recently added their first run on the scoreboard, trying to crack into this lead and claw themselves back into this ball game. I think I'm saying his name right. I hope so. Bizier. I apologize if I'm not. He is from Quebec, though, so that could be Bizier. French?
Could be.
I do apologize. We're going to try to pronounce it as best as we can. But, again, if you want to give us a tweet, if you family from this side or anybody, a Regina Red Sox watching on, which I'm sure there are, feel free to tweet us, Kale_Clark97. And correct me, please, with the right pronunciation, as Coleman Perry hits this on the ground to Anderson, who makes a nice long throw to Brady By, stretching out to make the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, that one was hit by Perry right to the shortstop. He kind of slides over to stop that one and makes the throw in time.
So I'll bring up Reese Sherman. But yeah, it's been a busy day for you, obviously, getting all settled in up north, moving into your new place. It's been a busy, long day for you, I'm sure. So this ball has popped up into center field, and it's going to be caught for the second straight out.
Give yourself some credit. You were helping me with that.
I may have been there.
You're being a good pal.
I've been there. I was there. I wasn't going to say it, but we had a busy day. It was fun, though.
It was.
It's always fun when you're with your friends hanging out.
Yep.
We've obviously developed a great relationship outside of work, too. We met each other. We both worked for those fans watching on, if you care to listen in on this. We both met each other working for a junior A hockey team in Central Alberta. And then just kind of built some chemistry from there on. Did a little bit of broadcasting in the hockey world together. And then, of course, I figured you're a baseball guy. I need a broadcast partner. Why not come join me this summer? And you did. And you've done a terrific and one heck of a job doing the job as well. So thanks for doing that. And, yeah, obviously can't wait for what's to come for you in the near future.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with you this summer. And you make it pretty easy and fun to come to the ballpark every night, so.
I'm all right. Base hit there by Charlie Collins. Charlie Collins with a nice base hit to keep this inning alive. Now a 2-out rally could be on here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as we go to the top of the order. Jaden Flores. Try to keep things going. He's 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch twice tonight. He is taking it a beating right now.
What are our Play Alberta odds of another hit by pitch?
Yeah. Above? Yeah. Above or below? For his sake, I don't want to put money on it. I hope not.
No.
I hope there's no more for him.
The over definitely would have hit in that department.
Yeah. 0-2 count to Flores. There he is there. Sun right in the eyes and the face of the batter. And you're taking a look in the background. And boys in the dugout having some fun. And Charlie Collins on the move. And he's going to get there. A little bit of help from maybe a drop ball as well.
It's quite a few times that the ball just hasn't made it right into the glove of whoever's covering at second base for both sides in this game.
Well, the throw would have been there in time. That was a great throw yet again by Carson Cox. Jake Fowler just couldn't quite keep it in his glove, so runner in scoring position. And Collins is amongst the top leaders for this team for stolen bases.
That kid's got a beat on that foul ball. It just skipped right on out of the concourse and into the parking lot, and that kid was rounding the corner pretty hot.
Yeah, in fact, that's actually Charlie Collins' 18th stolen base.
Wow.
On the season. He's among the top, one of the top players in the league to steal bases. He's 7th in the league for stolen bases.
That's pretty good.
And not far behind him is Maddox Shaver with 16.
16 for number 16.
There you go. Boom, boom. So Flores having a decent at-bat here, just trying to stay alive, keep this inning alive with the runner over at second. Busier trying to get out of this inning. Or Busier. I do apologize. I think he's from Quebec. So it could kind of, go a few different ways with how to pronounce his name.
And judging from the name of his hometown, I don't think it's the English part of Quebec.
No. And I did not take French in school, so I apologize. I don't know any French. I'm not a very bilingual citizen. And, oh my goodness, Jaden Flores has just been hit by a pitch yet again, the third time tonight.
And, just when you think you're safe, that's twice that he's had a 1-2 count and gotten hit. This is just a strange one. That time he kind of leans into it a little bit, okay, this one I'll get on base for. But
well, yeah, and he used the arm guard on that one that time. It probably didn't hurt him as much, but still. He's taking a beating. He's getting on base the hard way tonight.
Starting to wonder if the other teams just don't like him.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, did he say something to the Red Sox before this game got going? Or last time they met on Friday? I don't know. But
But it's the Bombers, it's the
Yeah,
Bulls.
I guess every team's not a fan of Jaden Flores lately. 3 of 4 plate appearances tonight, and he's reached on base all 3 of the 4 times. Yikes. So runners at first and second, Michael Quick now. Trying to keep the 2-out rally alive here. He's hit it on the ground a couple times and reached base on a fielder's choice. But he can't afford that right now. Any out will get out of this inning. Now 3-1 to Quick. This could be a huge, huge pitch and at bat for Michael Quick. If this doesn't end up, you know, loading the bases, then I don't know. It's not gonna. It's gonna help maybe with Flores taking those balls right on the body. And now this pops straight up in the air, and look out there as they make the catch. Nonetheless, Chance Deskelchuk making the catch, and we'll get out of the inning. It is a 6-1 Gulls lead. Six-1 Gulls lead at top of 7. Rain Krekelwetz will lead things off here. The number 7, 8, 9 batters scheduled to come to the plate. Sylvan Lake kind of just in cruise control right now. As the Red Sox have done a good job putting back-to-back innings together defensively, not giving anything up for the Gulls to score more runs. And now it's up to the Red Sox to maybe add on from what they did in the 6th inning with that 1-run score to try to kind of keep the momentum going in the right direction for themselves with the offense. And this ball is going to hit in the gap, and right on cue, they will do just that maybe. Rain Krekelwetz drives in a base hit, leading things off. And a good swing on it. It dropped a lot. He got enough on the bat to drill it through the hole.
Number 20, Carson Cox.
So Carson Cox comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And the Red Sox now out hitting the Gulls by a tally of 6-5.
But it hasn't resulted in as many runs as the Gulls. The Gulls have been getting their timely hits with runners on bases.
Well, yeah, and the one thing is Gulls haven't given up anything either as far as errors.
Yes.
And that could be huge in a game. Matthew McKenzie's night might be coming close to an end here as he's reaching upwards of 86 to close to 90 pitches on the night. 1-2 count now to Cox. And we got some warm-ups in the bullpen for the Sylvan Lake Gulls right now. And this ball hit hard down the line, staying fair. That'll be extra bases. Regina sending the man home. Here comes the throw, and actually they put out the red light at the very last second. It looked like Castellanos from the third base coach was getting the arm for quite some time, and then very last second, he got the stop sign. Look at him here. You could see him on the line. He's saying, go, 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 go. And then here, now he's saying, wait. So that might be the night now for McKenzie, as a meeting on the mound will take place with Matt Hape. And another great start by Matthew McKenzie and the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they will send in their first pitching change of the evening. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the rest of the top half of the seventh. Well, here's a guy that has gotten a lot of work on the mound. Seth Mahler coming into relief for Matthew McKenzie. And Matthew McKenzie, he had himself a start.
Yeah, he did. He got himself into the 7th inning, and he had quite a few strikeouts tonight, having 6 going next to his name. Only 1 walk, 7 hits, 1 run given up, and it was an earned run, and he had quite the night for himself. 26 batters faced, 87 pitches thrown. And another quality start for the Gulls, and Matthew McKenzie getting them pretty deep into the ball game and then starting to turn it over to the bullpen to shut things down.
And unfortunately for the Red Sox, it doesn't get any easier with Seth Mahler stepping in. He's among the top pitching staff members who have the most innings of work this summer for the Gulls, and he's got a 4-1 win-loss record and 2 saves with a 2.62 ERA. And he's kind of in a jam right now with runners in scoring position at 3rd and 2nd. The Red Sox lead off the 7th with a single and then a double. And this is Lance Anderson, who had a triple his last at-bat, and he hits this well down the line, and it's just going to go foul and hop over the fence.
Yeah, that one looked like it had a chance to stay fair, and then the wind might have helped push it foul.
1-1 the count. So that was a very loud strike. And now Gulls have to just bear down here, as the Red Sox could easily make this an interesting ball game should those runners come in to score. Then the next thing you know, they're back in it. They cut the lead in half. Ball hit on the ground right to Shaver, and they will sacrifice the 1 run to come in to score for 1 out. So a sacrifice ground ball for Lance Anderson that gets the RBI.
Yeah, he did his job, advance both runners. Gets a run to cash in as well.
So Jalen Myers back to the top of the batting order we go. He is 0 for 3 here on the evening. And a very hard fastball up high inside. Beat him. Beat him cleanly. And another great pitch there. That looked like it was going to be a fastball coming down, and instead it comes in as an off-speed and has a lot of movement, a curveball, down and away. At least I think it was a curveball. Maybe it was a slider. One and two. Now Mahler working the count here with one away. Runner at third, that is Carson Cox.
Trying to get him to chase with the outside stuff, but not quite able to get it to work out like he did on the second pitch there.
And then he comes inside, and that definitely, I think, had Jalen Myers thinking about it a little more than he normally would have.
I think everyone behind home plate had that as a punch out in their scorebooks there.
I love that call by Reese Sherman too, hey? They have him try to get him to chase after him, and then that final one comes inside instead. Total different look. And then he comes back, and he has him chasing after it. That a little closer to the zone, and Myers goes down swinging.
Yeah, kind of a cat and mouse game. Outside, 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 inside, and let's go right back outside. And he got him to chase. Down with the strikeout.
And that's two away now. Great pitch there by Mahler, his first strikeout of the night since coming in relief for Matthew McKenzie. Jake Fowler now, 1 for 3 on the night. And he goes around and he checks his swing, I guess, according to the appeal from Jeff Chipley. That was close. Good check, though, by Jake Fowler. Let's take a look at it here. Ooh.
That's close.
I think with the replay, that was a challenge in the major leagues, if they could have challenged a check swing. I don't know if they can in the major league level, but that probably would have been called a strike.
Gonna need to get more of a dome stadium, get a nice little overhead view above home plate so you can see exactly where it is in relation to first and third.
The technology nowadays for any official in any sport is just not fair anymore. It makes it so much harder for these guys as officials and umpires to, call a game and not get some kind of backlash for it, because in real time, it's so hard to really actually know and be able to be that precise.
When you can slow it down and go frame by frame,
easy
you
for
go,
us to say.
how would you not call that?
Exactly, easy for us to say, right? And I know Jeff Chipley, he likes to always, he's very passionate in officiating, and he will go back and watch that play for sure. So this is hit on the ground, and the throw in time for out number 3. So the Gulls just sacrifice the 1 run, do a pretty good job with the situation they were given, and Seth Mahler does a good job coming into this ball game with adding a strikeout and then a ground out. They'll come to the bottom of the 7th. It is the 7th inning stretch when we come back. Welcome back to Gulls Baseball right here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Cale Clark here with Scott Stimpson. You're watching Gulls Baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Like I mentioned, Elijah Hamill will lead things off here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Well, the Red Sox are definitely making a game of it, now just down by 4 runs, as it was a 6-0 lead at one point, and they are starting to slowly but surely claw their way back into this ball game.
Yeah, they're starting to figure out Matthew McKenzie, so then the Gulls said, okay, that's the end of your night. We'll go to the bullpen now, and only one more run came across the plate. So 2 runs given up and 6 and some change for Matthew McKenzie. Pretty good night for him.
Good pitch there by Michael Bizier, or Bizier. I think I'm going to go with Bizier. That sounds French.
It does.
Let's just do that.
Call him Biz.
Let's call him Biz for short. Well, he's in the biz. He just struck out one of the hottest batters in the league as of late in Elijah Hamill.
Yeah, he caught him looking on that one as we take a look at this strikeout pitch. Down low, outside corner. Good location.
Well, that's what you need if you're the Regina Red Sox. Got a pitcher like that to come in and close the door. And so far, Bizier has been doing just that. 4 straight pitches, 4 straight strikes.
And probably a good thing for the Red Sox, too. If they got some double headers coming down the pipeline, you want to keep some arms ready for it.
Absolutely.
Even if you do have a break in between, but you still got to prepare for it.
And it's double headers, too. So they're, long days, busy games, right? But, yeah, at least for Regina, they get to have tomorrow off. Not sure what their plans are. I'm assuming they've been in Alberta for a while. I'm assuming they're probably hitting the road as soon as this game is over and going straight back to Regina tonight. And then get in late and then get all day to recover and sleep and rest and whatever else they may need to do. Check out the city maybe for some of the players who aren't from Regina. Three and 1 count here to John Boy Rittenhouse, the DH for the Gulls. And he's going to walk. So that'll bring up, well, you heard it. If you heard on your TV at home, they just played the Simpsons theme song. Cleary Simpson coming up to the plate. I love that walk-up sound. That's awesome. Or the I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Yeah, that one's good too. The Elnora, Alberta kid, a local favorite. His sister Paige also goes to Marshall University. He just ended schooling in Marshall. And his sister is playing for that same university, doing a really good job too. She's a ball player. We've asked Cleary who's the better ball player, and he hands down said his sister is, as he hits this right down the line. That's fair. Clutch Cleary Simpson is going to drive in a run. That is a long RBI double.
Yeah, he hit that one perfectly down the line for John Boy Rittenhouse to round his way all the way home, as that one just stays fair, and then great spin on it, sends it right into the corner of the ballpark. And if he wanted, he probably had a really good shot at a triple there, but he'll just take the easy 2 bags. He gets the run scored, so he got what he wanted.
And he probably just gassed his teammate there with John Boy Rittenhouse having to run a long ways just to get home. He was at first, and he rounded all the bases to come home on that big RBI double.
It's a long ways to run, 270 feet.
Yeah, you could just tell that by the time he was turning third, John Boy was sucking back all the wind he could.
Well, when you do the math, you look at, the left field wall, 330 feet. That's not far off of that.
No.
270, that's
from home
most
plate.
of the way.
Yeah,
that's a pretty solid run.
That's a sprint, yeah. That's a dash. That's not quite as far as the Snapman race.
No, but it's close to halfway.
Yeah. And that just kind of gives you a little bit of perspective, too, when you take a look at the bases and then how far the Snapman race has to be. They start at center field, and they run all the way around the track and then back just in front of the Gulls dugout. Like, no wonder you're gassed by the time you hit that corner, because you would have already pretty much had to run the bases at least a couple times just to do that race. Yeah, it's a lot of running. I don't even want to think about it. I did it once. I don't want to do it again. I'll tell you that for free.
I'd like to do it once.
I would like to see you do it once.
It's got to be like perfect conditions. I got to be feeling right. I got to have energy. I got to be stretched out, you know.
Well, you know what? There are some games left. And, you know, there is a weekend you could probably make down for one.
Sign me up for the championship game.
Get everybody into it. We just see the long legs of Scott Stimson running. Running wild. Oh, I would pay to see that. 2-2 the count to Maddox Shaver.
How much?
A cold beverage afterwards. How about
that? I'd do it for a bat bevy.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give you a bat bevy. I'll buy you the bat and the beer in the bat. That's like $30 right there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Broken bat. Popped to shallow left center. It's going to drop. And a run's going to come in to score. As the fielders yet again bobble that ball, and Maddox Shaver on a broken bat drives in Cleary Simpson.
Yeah, that one was a dart. Just kind of stuck in the ground. It was a broken bat. Obviously, that plays a factor in how far the ball goes. But watch this ball. Once it hits the ground, it just kind of bounces over the head and stops.
Yeah, and Krekowitz obviously tried to make a bare hand grab on that play, but he overran the ball. And that, you know, allowed Cleary Simpson from second to turn third and come home. And obviously great heads up base running coaching by Wyatt McKnight over at third. And this is a well hit ball. It's going a long way. Steep center field, and it's out of here. Coleman Perry has hit the ball hard tonight, and he hits it even further his third time around. It's a 2-run homer for Coleman Perry.
Coleman Perry gets in on the action here as he just hammers this one. So we're going to have a nice look at that swing. Yeah, he got down almost on one knee to try to scoop this one, and boy, did he get a hold of that one, sending it to right center field. That's a big bomb, and that's a lot of insurance on the board right now for the Gulls.
Wow. Well, and they're not on the board. It looks like they're not giving the Red Sox a third error on that previous play for Maddox Shaver. So then if that's the case, Maddox Shaver will have an RBI double scored to him.
That's what they're giving online.
Okay, so there you go. Couple RBI doubles back to back. It led things with a strikeout. It was a good strikeout by this pitcher in Michael Bizier. And then he walks a batter, and of course Sylvan Lake do what they've been doing all night long, and both times these two teams have played, they make you pay for giving them a free base.
Yeah, they can throw it into high gear pretty quick. You give them any sign of momentum, and they smell blood in the water. They're going to go after you.
Well, that was
something to see.
Fun to watch, that's for sure. Sylvan Lake now have a couple homers in this ball game. The bats just keep going. They're hot right now. In fact, they're sizzling right now is how hot they are. Reese Sherman is 1 for 2 on the night, 1 away. It's now a 10-2 Gulls lead with 1 down. And I was talking to Sylvan Lake and the boys before this game, and they talked about their, obviously terrific couple of games yesterday, and they said, I was talking to Dom, she's like, I think we got 3 in us for Mercy. I think we got another Mercy in us for tonight. And then Reece Sherman, same thing. He was also agreeing. He's like, yeah, I would be okay with that. I think we could do that. So it can happen. The Gulls do, though. They still have to add 2 more runs, of course, before this inning's over to have an opportunity to close it out in the 8th inning.
Do you know the funny part about that is I was kind of thinking that this inning, I'm like, oh, if they get going. I won't say that I was thinking it was going to happen.
No.
It was just a passing thought in my head.
It's definitely a thought that came up. And now that it's closer, obviously it wasn't looking that way for a while. And I didn't want to speak too soon, of course, and I still may have already. But I'm just saying that was the talk. I'm not going to lie. That was a little bit of the talk before the game is the Gulls were like, that would be kind of fun to do it 3 times in a row. But with 1 away, yeah, there's some work to be done.
Shows the confidence that they have in not only their own bats, but their teammates as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And obviously when you're hot, you're hot.
Yep.
And everyone's hot right now.
The weather's been hot. This team has been heating up. It's it's perfect timing right now for Sylvan Lake. Obviously, lots of big games to come to Gulls Field and on the road. They will hit the road tomorrow, actually. They go to Okotoks for a match against the Dogs, and then it's a home-and-home series. They'll return back to Gulls Field on Friday to finish out that 2-game series against the Dogs. And then they're on the road for the weekend in Lethbridge. So the next 4 are going to be some tough games. And it's a strikeout to Sherman for out number 2. So that makes the mercy a little harder for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Certainly does, but a nice pitch there to get Sherman chasing after it. That's now 2 strikeouts in this inning. So looking to close out strong.
So Charlie Collins, he's had himself a game tonight. You know, making some great catches in right field. He's gone 2 for 3 at the plate, 2 RBIs. He's having a game. To round out the batting order. Takes that first pitch in for a called strike from Brad Johnston. Another call crowd did not agree with. 2-2 to Charlie Collins from Melbourne, Australia. Goes to Southeastern University. Looking to keep this inning alive, add some more runs to the scoreboard, and he's going to hit it. Shallow center field. That's going to draw for a base hit to keep this inning going.
Just got enough of that one to just die down in front of the center fielder as he gets a good cut on that one and just pokes it out. 1 hopper into the glove. Trying to start a 2-out rally now.
The shortstop, number 8, Jaden Flores.
So Jaden Flores comes back to the plate for his 5th time in 7 innings. That just goes to show you how good this offense has been, that they can bat around this many times. Now Collins continuing to steal bases. He said, I saw what happened in the league earlier on this week with the stolen base record being set. Well, now I'm going to start to maybe add some more to my count here in the regular season as he continues to climb up the leaderboard in the league with stolen bases.
Yeah, that time a feet first slide. The throw was on the shortstop side of the bag, so he pretty much had that one all the way.
2nd stolen base of the day. This hit on the ground right to Chance Deskelchuk, who makes the throw over to Brady Bye in time for the 3rd and final out of the inning. But not before the Sylvan Lake Gulls put up 4 more runs on the board now with a 10-2 lead heading into the 8th when we come back. Seth Mahler back on the mound yet again for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Looking to close out this game. 10-2 they lead it. And I'm thinking they're probably going to limit the amount of times they go to the bullpen tonight. If they can leave Mahler in there for the rest of this game, that gives and saves some arms for Okotoks for the next 2, and then Lethbridge for another 2. And of course, Mahler, one of your top closers as well for the Sylvan Lake Gulls this season.
And also, if you can give Braden Stewart an extra kind of night off and have him in a more leveraged situation.
Oh my. That hit somebody in the bullpen. That hit a pitcher in the bullpen. They were not paying attention. And I think that's Ramses Guerrero, or who is that?
I thought that might have been him.
It looks like that's Ramses Guerrero that took that. Oh my. You don't really see that very often where, you know, a foul ball goes to the bullpen and the guys aren't paying attention. Well, this time they weren't, and Ramses gives a thumbs up. They're all laughing, having a good smile over it. But Ramses got absolutely pegged with that foul ball. Kai can't believe it. Kai Reppel's like, yeah, he's fine. I can't believe that happened. He's even shaking his head like, what is that? What the heck? Yeah, we're having a little too much fun over here. We're kind of forgetting there's a ball game going on as Rob Manka goes all the way over to the bullpen to make sure the boys are okay. Oh, my. That's hilarious. I have never seen that in the 6 years we have been here at Gulls Field, a pitcher get actually hit with a foul ball because he's not paying attention.
And, like, you'd think with the sheer number of guys there, someone would have noticed.
Well, a couple did move away, and there's a strikeout for Seth Mahler, just picking up from where Matthew McKenzie put down. It's his second strikeout of the night.
Yeah, Mahler's come in and done what he likes to do. Just throw some strikeouts.
He reminds me a lot of maybe just the way he looks with the blonde hair and the even the physique of him on the mound, but he reminds me a lot of like a Mickey McClaskey from last year for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. But the difference with him is he's got a little bit more off-speed stuff and a little bit of a slip there, but a good recovery by Jaden Flores.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a slip and slide out there for Flores at short, as it was a pretty sharply hit ball. One hopper he gets there, and just kind of doesn't completely blow the tire, but he slips up, but good recovery to make the throw over in time to get Brady By out at first.
So Daniel Castellanos, the DH, comes in to try to keep this inning alive. But yeah, that was a good save and recovery by Jaden Flores. You know, just had a little bit of a slip there in the outfield as he had to, the ball was hit well. Like you said, Brady By, that guy hits the ball hard. And so it was deep in the hole, and Flores had to kind of feel that in the outfield part of this field, and took a step, slipped right underneath of him, and he's still looking back to that spot where he slipped. Not sure what he stepped on, and is it wet? Maybe it's a little wet. I don't know. But still made the throw in time. Just enough. Good pitch there, off speed, 80 mile per hour. That just floated in there for a called strike. 1-2 to Castellanos. At the RBI double back in the 6th. He's kind of what helped try to get the Red Sox going. Mahler just means business, too. When you see his face, he is just dialed in every time he is on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And he almost has him chasing after that one. That's a tough pitch to take because you see it coming down the line pretty straight for most of it, and then that last little bit, it really breaks at the end. Full count to Castellanos. And that's fouled off. Speaking of foul, maybe some foul choice of words by Castellanos after that. I don't know if it was Castellanos or somebody else maybe in the crowd, but heard it clear as day on my headset. Tries to get him with the fastball, and he just fights it off. Castellano's putting a good at-bat together here, making Mahler work for it to get out of this inning.
And he's trying to go to different locations, going higher, going lower, and just Castellanos keeps fighting it off.
And it's a walk. So the patience pays off for Castellanos. And that'll bring Chance Deskelchuk back to the plate. No, it won't be. It'll be a pinch hitter. And this is number 37. That can't be right. The roster says first name Kipke, last name Derek. I'm thinking it's Derek Kipke.
I came to the same conclusion as you.
I'm thinking it's Derek Kipke. Coming in.
Now batting for the Red Sox, pinch hitter number 37, Derek Kipke.
So 2 down, and Kepke trying to keep this inning alive, get a little 2-out rally going, keep clawing way back. The Red Sox have put back-to-back innings now where they have come in to score a run, but just the one run. They've been held to the minimum. Mahler having a little bit of a tough time finding the zone right now. Now 2-0. That's several pitches he's thrown out of the zone.
Kind of starting to battle it now, and that's where you kind of got to grit your teeth and grind it out.
And now a 3-0 count to Kepke. Not sure if this is the time where you call a little time on the mound and have the catcher meet with pitcher. There he finds it. Taken all the way, it was Kepke, 3-1. Ball hit hard on the ground. Maddox Shaver makes the play over to Flores in time for the force out at second. So Mahler does the job, settles in, and they hold the Red Sox just to the 2 runners on, or the 1 runner on. It's a 10-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher on the mound. That is number 25, Vittorio Icobucci.
defensive changes as well for the Red Sox. Brady Bye is going to slide over to play third base, and Derek Kiepke, who just came into the game, he's going to be at first.
So Michael Quick will lead things off. Thanks for that, Scott. So Brady Bye over at third now, yeah, and new first baseman, Derek Kiepke. Why not throw a tough name at us right at the end of the night for the pitcher on the Red Sox? Io Kabuchi now on the mound. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Apologize if I'm not. Guess I could check my Twitter handle here too in case anybody's been trying to reach out to us.
Bless you.
Yeah, that was a loud one. I think that came through your mic. My bad. I apologize. Sorry, everybody.
Big sneeze.
Not something that crept up on me, that one. That snuck in. Something got me there. Maybe it's your Firehouse sub. The spice got me there. I don't know. Michael Quick hits it softly on the ground. Dribbler to third as Brady Bye picks it up. But Michael Quick with the speed gets there first and beats out the throw.
Speed demon, as Michael Quick was hot out of the gates there. Brady Bye, he put in a really good effort throwing on the run, but just misses the speedy Michael Quick.
So I'll bring up Elijah Hamill. And the guys in the truck did bring up a good point. I don't know the answer to it, but if the Gulls say score 2 runs in this inning at any point, whether it could be just even right now, Ham maybe sends one over the fence, would that just be the game? Would that end it? Or would the inning go on until 3 outs are put and then they just don't play? And I don't know. That's not really sure with the mercy rule. That's one that I'd have to have like a Don Buskus or somebody, an umpire in here to help me out with. But
maybe if we're lucky enough, we'll find out.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Be weird to have a walk-off mercy, wouldn't it? 1-1 to count to Elijah Hamill. Runner at first. Michael Quick continues to be fast with those feet. He was dangerous in the playoffs last year with his speed, especially when he gets on base. Hamill wanted to send him a long ways there. Even count 2-2.
It was kind of a long swing there. Looking for any piece of the ball and couldn't find it.
Bryce Turner, the pinch hitter coming into this ball game. Looks like he's on deck. And a strikeout on Hamill. That froze him up pretty good. That was a great pitch by Iacobucci on Elijah Hamill. Look at this. He checked and then realized that, oh, yeah, I went all the way around on that one. Had him fooled.
Back-to-back strikeouts on Elijah Hamill. Don't see that very often.
No, this is, other than his 2-run homer that got things started, it's after that, it's kind of been a quiet night at the plate for him. So this is Bryce Turner now coming in for John Boy Rittenhouse. He had a homer yesterday. He hits the ball hard, and it was like a line drive. Didn't get up. It doesn't hit it high, but didn't need to. It just went hard enough that it flew over the fence.
It's a 3-run shot as well.
Yeah, that was a big one. Gulls now out hitting Red Sox 10-7. That ball takes a hop in the turf for a third ball. Turner going to be taken away all the way on this one, I would think. he's going to take a 4-pitch walk to get on base.
Good patience there for him. And that'll advance Michael Quick over to second base as well in the process, and we'll have yet another pinch hitter enter this game.
Yeah, just very much like what we saw yesterday. So like Gulls getting some young faces and young guys into these games as Dane Liskey comes into this game. He played a little bit yesterday as well. And with, an 8-run lead, why not give some of these young guys some practice? He came around to score his first run in his WCBL career. Zach McDonald, we were talking about him in the pregame show as well, also played yesterday and got his first couple RBIs. So now Dane Liskey may be looking for his first RBI in his Western Canadian Baseball League career, as he's got a runner in scoring position with only one away, and that is Michael Quick over at second. And he's fast, so really all it'd take would land one in the gap here, and you might have a run scored. Liskey from Drayton Valley, Alberta. Committed to Southwest Tennessee University. And this is the future of the Sylvan Lake Gulls right here. These are guys that are going to be called upon in the next year or two. As part of the inaugural Gulls prep team. And that's a little out there, but it's a called strike by Brad Johnston.
You can see the kids in the background calling for the ABS. Let's check that one and overturn it.
Yeah, sorry, boys. Unfortunately, the Western Canadian Baseball League does not have the challenge rule. But yes, those kids know what's up. That would have been the right challenge.
Those are some ball knowers right there.
Yeah, they know what's up. Right behind home plate. Try to challenge. I love that. That's good. That's so good. Even count to Liskey here. 2-2. Runners at first and second with one away. 10-2. Gulls lead it over the Red Sox. Ball swung on and hit in the air. Pop fly dropping down, and it's going to be caught by the center fielder, Ian Montz, to get there in time.
Yeah, that one looked like it had a chance to maybe just fall down and hit some grass, but doesn't quite do it as Ian Montz is flying in from center field.
Two-way Matt Shaver now at the plate.
The second baseman, number 16, Maddox Shaver.
Oh, that one comes inside, just missing. 1-0. Io Kobuchi has a nice long setup for delivering the pitch. I remember that from Friday as well. He came in, I think, at one point to pitch. I got to double check my stats, but
I believe you're right because his name rings a bell.
I feel like I definitely said his name already this year. And that 11-6 win, and he was the second pitcher to come in that game. He only pitched 2/3 of a game, 2/3 of an inning, I should say. And he got into some trouble. Gave up 4 runs, 2 walks, but no hits. From what I can see here, maybe that, again, that could have been on some errors. I don't know. Shaver with a little bit of a light check swing that drives the ball fair into this game, and that will be out number 3 on the Sylvan Lake Gulls, leaving 2 runners stranded. So it's going to come down to the defense in the top of the 9th inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 3 outs away from securing yet another win here at Gulls Field. 1 inning left. Seth Muller looking to close the night out and do the job as the Gulls have a 10-2 lead over the Red Sox. And it's just now up to the defense, who has been good all night long, and so has the pitching. 2 pitchers been sent into this game by the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and that's a pretty good night of work there if you can save some arms for a busy week ahead.
Yeah, Matthew McKenzie pitches into the 7th inning, so a really good start from him, and then Mahler's taken the reins since.
Krekowetz will lead things off here in the 9th. He's 1 for 2. Finds the corner there, 1-2 now on Krekowetz. Should look at the scoreboard outside of the league here, as there's quite a few games going on tonight. The team that Sylvan Lake Gulls are trying to catch right now, and the Okotoks Dogs are in action, and they're taking on the Lethbridge Bulls. This ball hit on the ground to Flores, scoops it up, makes the throw, and in time for out number 1.
Nice routine ground ball over to shortstop. Flores has been all over it all night long, as that one kind of gets an opposite field hit on it from Krekowetz.
Well, the Okotoks Dogs played a doubleheader against Lethbridge today. They won game 1, 5-2. The Dogs did, and the Dogs are leading game 2, 6-3. So they're not making it easy for Sylvan Lake to even have a chance at catching them for first place. But with them doubling up on the Lethbridge Bulls, that makes it that much closer for the Sylvan Lake Gulls to secure at least second place and have home field advantage for at least one round. I'm wondering what the magic number is for Sylvan Lake and Lethbridge to have that separation to officially secure at least second. Probably got to be pretty close, especially with them having a doubleheader today.
Yeah.
And if they lose both and Gulls win, that would be huge, because if I'm not mistaken, Gulls coming into this game were up by 3 games at least, 4 games? Yeah, 3.5. Is what they're up right now on Lethbridge. They can go up by 4 as this is hit right on the ground. And a throw from Liskey in time to Perry, the youngster showing what his arm is capable of doing. And there you go. Well, a gorgeous night here at Gulls Field. Look at the shot there from the guys. Martin, the guy is the behind home plate. He's got the camera right now, and that is a beautiful shot there. Clouds, kind of a little bit of a sunset tint of pink in the sky.
Nothing like
Purple.
those cotton candy clouds.
Oh, yeah. Making me hungry.
You a big cotton candy guy?
Oh, yeah. Aren't you?
No.
Wow. Hot take from Scott Stimson, everybody.
I just don't like...
Doesn't like cotton candy?
I don't like the way it feels, you know? It's just like fluffy sugar, and then it melts in your mouth disappears into nothing. I don't care for that.
It tastes amazing when it disappears into nothing. You are something else.
Took all
That's
summer
a hot take.
for a hot take.
That's a hot take. Yeah, there's our first hot take of the summer and our only hot take, unfortunately, from Scott Stimson. Well, good to know. 0-2, final strike. Final out on Lance Anderson. Gulls looking to secure another win here at home, and that one goes foul, or just ball, sorry. Goes wide.
Words.
What is words? And this ball hit on the ground. It will be a routine play. Flores to Perry, and that will do it. The Sylvan Lake Gulls win another one here at home, taking it to the Red Sox. Now making that 4 straight wins in a row. 10-2 victory over the Red Sox.
Yeah, the Gulls are in the driver's seat all game long, jumping out to an early 2-0 lead, and then they make it 5-0 and didn't really look back there. They let up a couple runs later on in the game, but a wire-to-wire victory for the Gulls. They're looking good as they're a week away from playoffs.
4 straight victories for Sylvan Lake after coming off a 3-game losing skid. Definitely have turned the tables and look like they're playing some of their best ball right now and heating up as the rest of this regular season closes out. But what a game by that man right there. Charlie Collins has had himself a fantastic night. And we'll send things down to Joe Whitbread at field level with our EG Auctions Player of the Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now draw your attention behind home plate. It's time for our Player of the Game announcement. Please welcome outfielder. He went 3 for 4 tonight with 2 RBI. This man from Melbourne, Australia is Charlie Collins. We've been waiting a long time to have you here, and you've been trying hard. You've had a great season so far, one of our top batsmen. Congratulations on another Gulls home win.
Thank you. No, I love being here, love seeing all the fans, and I've been trying to talk to you, so I'm glad we finally get to do it.
You've had a lot of success here at Gulls Field, but tell us about your success on the road, too. You've had some long balls and a lot of RBIs this season.
I just try to do my job. I just try to do my part, and it's been working for me, so yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the road to Sylvan Lake. Melbourne, Australia is a long way away. How does a guy like you get to a place like this?
It is a long way. It's definitely a long way. I love it here. No, the journey here, it is long, but just connections, really. People I know, my friends on the team and the coaches that I've grown to know, so yeah.
Really appreciate. We'll have you on the post-game show as well for our fans online. Congratulations on a Player of the Game presented by EG Auctions.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
There you go. Charlie Collins, everybody.
There you go, the kid from down under getting the job done. 3 for 4, a couple RBIs, making some great grabs out in right field as always. Charlie Collins just came tonight and was ready to work, and he was one of the most consistent players of the night for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Yeah, he did his job. He was batting 9th tonight, so he was able to turn it over to the top of the order quite a few times. So very productive in his at-bats as well. So hats off to Charlie Collins. Great night.
And overall for the team, I mean, they just seem to really ride off of the defense. Of course, you get that big start on the mound. Matthew McKenzie, I want to make sure that he gets an honorable mention here tonight because he had a terrific game, a lot of Ks on the fence as well. He was close. You also had another honorable mention in the first baseman, Coleman Perry.
Yeah, he had a 2-run home run. He had 2 hits, and he scored 3 times. So he had himself a productive night and was rock solid at first base as well.
Okay, now we turn our attention to you, Scott. This is your last broadcast of the season.
Yeah.
You're moving on to bigger and better things. Any final words from you and what you can kind of, I guess, take into your next role?
Yeah, no, I'm just really happy to be here, spend the summer with you. We're good friends off the air, and thank you for bringing me in for this. And it was just cool to be a part of baseball. It's something that I like to watch and had some experience with earlier on in my career. I was still in school when I was part of the Brooks Bombers as their PA announcer, so it's cool to be on the color side of things and kind of get a feel for the other side of the broadcast as well, being play-by-play for hockey, being behind the scenes for hockey, all over the map. So it's pretty much whatever. I'm the utility guy.
We brought you over from the good side of the Brooks Bombers and now over to the Sylvan Lake Gulls, of course. And, you do a terrific job, just a well-rounded sports broadcaster right here. And don't give him a hard time, fans, because he is kind of a Jays fan, but he's the reason why we give him a hard time is because he also cheers for Tampa Bay. However, Nathan Fluelling, local boy from Minnesville now, working his way up in the farm system there. But, like you said, you like your baseball and clearly went to show. And I guess what was one of your favorite memories? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Favorite memory from this season being able to call Gulls baseball. What stands out to you when you think about the games that you got to call?
I think it was kind of early on. Just like you see the team, they're not quite figuring out what they are just yet, but they're trying to figure it out. And they're a team that was scrappy and fighting back to the end. And I think the one that stands out was one of those first walk-offs that I was here for. There's nothing like a walk-off game in baseball. It's just all the hard work pays off. The momentum's building and building, especially in a comeback win.
And a fan once, now you got to be able to kind of hear what the fans are like from up here.
Yeah.
When there's a walk-off, there's just a little bit something extra special being up here.
Yeah, there's a little extra pop from the crowd, and you can feel it deep in your bones, too. It's been great to be a fan. It's been cool to be up here as well, so it's just been a treat. And everyone has been very welcoming here, all around the organization, the fans, getting feedback early on in the season on how much they enjoyed the broadcast. Really cool to hear about and be a part of.
Well, Scotty, we're going to miss you, but the Sylvan Lake Gulls just keep things going in the right direction as they will now get set for a pair of games against the Okotoks Dogs. The boys from the dugout were loving it. Elijah Hamill was loving it. He got things started with the right note. A 2-run homer that really just set the tone for the way the rest of this night was going to carry on. Charlie Collins, our AG Auctions player of the game, just could not be denied. And he also got a couple stolen bases as well. Unfortunately for John Boy Rittenhouse, he didn't. We saw the rookies. They can eat a hot dog, apparently. I mean, anybody can, right? And so the Sylvan Lake Gulls just did what they could do best with the Regina Red Sox. And, of course, we had a great opportunity to kind of come up into the broadcast booth right before that took place with Snapman. But Coleman Perry just sends another one over the wall as well. Sylvan Lake takes this one 10-2 for Calvin Bellows at Green Onion Media. Scott Stimpson one last time. I'm Cale Clark, and Scotty, take it away.
That's baseball.